The Green Bay Packers are facing a pivotal moment, as they might be without their star player for the first month of the upcoming season. Micah Parsons, a critical member of the defense, suffered an ACL injury late in the 2025 season. While his recovery is reportedly on track, the looming possibility of starting the season on the PUP list raises significant concerns for the organization and its fan base. This development has sparked discussions about the need for reinforcements on the defensive front, particularly in the pass rushing department. Fans, where are you watching from today? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments, because the implications of Parsons' potential absence are monumental for the Packers. Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated has suggested that with Parsons likely sidelined, the Packers should actively pursue another pass rusher to bolster their defense. The name that has come up is Haason Reddick, who has ties to the new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. It's not a stretch to say that adding Reddick could be a strategic move for the Packers, especially considering their recent acquisition of defensive lineman Javon Hargrave from Gannon's previous roster. This connection could help facilitate a smooth transition for Reddick into Green Bay's defensive scheme. However, let's be honest here. Reddick's glory days as a top-tier pass rusher seem to be behind him. His last 2 seasons have been relatively quiet, and the likelihood of him returning to double-digit sack numbers appears slim. But here's the counterpoint. Reddick's familiarity with Gannon's system could make him a valuable asset for the Packers, particularly as they navigate the uncertainty surrounding Parsons' health. With Lucas Van Ness showing inconsistency last season, Reddick would provide a much-needed alternative while the team awaits Parsons' return. Spotrac's projections indicate that Reddick's salary could be around $4.9 million per year, which aligns with the Packers' current financial constraints. This makes him a potentially viable option in a market where the Packers need to be strategic about their investments. Let's not forget that injuries were a major factor that derailed Green Bay's promising 2025 campaign. This upcoming season could very well be a make-or-break situation for head coach Matt LaFleur. The pressure is mounting, and addressing depth needs becomes paramount as the team seeks to rebound from last year's disheartening finish. As the narrative unfolds, it's clear that the front office has to weigh the risks and rewards carefully. Adding Reddick could provide immediate support, but fans have to wonder if he's really the game-changing talent he once was. The potential for trades and new additions looms large, and every decision made in the coming weeks will be scrutinized by a passionate fan base eager to see their team back in contention. As we consider the potential moves ahead, it's crucial to keep the dialogue going. What do you think the Packers should do? Should they go after Reddick or look elsewhere to fill the gaps in their defensive lineup? Let's keep this discussion alive as we move to our next topic.
As we dive deeper into the roster dynamics of the Green Bay Packers, it's crucial to acknowledge that, despite a solid core post-draft and free agency, there are still gaps that need addressing. General Manager Brian Gutekunst has been vocal about this, emphasizing that the pursuit of improvement is a year-round endeavor. "I don't know if I ever feel like I've checked every box, because I don't know if anything's ever complete," he stated. This mindset encapsulates the ongoing evolution of the team, reflecting the urgency and commitment to excellence that Packers fans expect. One intriguing possibility for the Packers is the potential return of cornerback Rasul Douglas. With a shift in coaching philosophy under Jonathan Gannon, Douglas could thrive once again in a scheme that aligns more closely with his strengths. After a noteworthy season with the Dolphins, he presents a cheaper, short-term option for a secondary that could use a seasoned presence. While the draft brought in promising talents like Brandon Cisse and Domani Jackson, both are still developing, making Douglas a strategic addition as a bridge piece to solidify the cornerback position in the interim. Another name to keep an eye on is defensive lineman Tyler Slaton. Currently under contract with the Bengals, a trade isn't out of the question, especially after Cincinnati acquired Dexter Lawrence. The Packers felt Slaton's absence last season, particularly in stopping the run, a crucial aspect of their defensive strategy. With the recent signings of Javon Hargrave and the drafting of Chris McClellan, neither player fills the specific role that Slaton excels in. Bringing him back could fortify the defensive line and enhance run-stopping capabilities, which the team desperately needs. Tight end Robert Tonyan, who finished last season with the Packers, is another player whose return could benefit the team. After being cut due to contract concerns, he remains a free agent in May, making a team-friendly deal a possibility. With the Packers' declared need for an inline tight end, Tonyan's familiarity with the system and his skill set could provide a valuable asset to the offense, especially as they continue to develop their young quarterback. Then there's Taysom Hill, a name that sparks intrigue for any football fan. Originally a third-string rookie quarterback with the Packers in 2017, Hill was cut with the anticipation of returning to the practice squad, only to be snagged by the New Orleans Saints. Under Sean Payton, he transformed into one of the most versatile players in the league. At 35, Hill still possesses an athleticism that could be harnessed creatively by Matt LaFleur, potentially adding a dynamic element to the Packers' offense that could catch defenses off guard. These names circle back to the overarching theme of roster improvement. The Packers are not just looking for bodies, they're searching for players who can make an immediate impact and fit into the evolving identity of the team. The combination of experience and fresh talent could be the key to unlocking the full potential of this squad. As we continue to explore the potential moves and strategic decisions ahead, it's important to consider how these additions could shape the Packers for the upcoming season and beyond. Where do you think the Packers should focus their efforts? Share your thoughts and let us know where you're watching from as we gear up for what's next in Green Bay.
As we wrap up this segment, the offseason continues to be filled with intriguing rumors and speculations, particularly concerning player movements that could shake up the NFL landscape. Stay tuned, because we're diving into the latest developments that might affect your Green Bay Packers. First, let's address the situation surrounding Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. Recently, Rice found himself in more legal trouble after testing positive for marijuana, stemming from an incident involving a multi-car crash 2 years ago. This is yet another off-field issue for Rice, a player who has seen limited action over the last 2 seasons, participating in just 12 games. While the NFL has acknowledged the situation, they've remained tight-lipped on any potential disciplinary actions. The Chiefs are certainly at a crossroads with Rice. They may soon consider seeking a more dependable target in the market. There's chatter about the possibility of the Chiefs making moves in free agency, with former Kansas City standout Tyreek Hill being a notable name linked to a potential return. Yet, the name that stands out even more is A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. The speculation is that the Chiefs might explore a trade for the talented receiver, though insiders suggest that a deal is unlikely. Still, the importance of depth and reliability at wide receiver cannot be overstated, especially for a team that prides itself on a high-octane offense. Shifting gears, let's take a look at the New Orleans Saints, where running back Alvin Kamara's future is shrouded in uncertainty. Following the signing of Travis Etienne to a lucrative 4-year deal, Kamara's role on the team has come into question. Saints head coach Kellen Moore commented on the matter, indicating that they are getting close to a decision as OTAs approach. General Manager Mickey Loomis added to the mix, highlighting the resource management aspect of roster decisions. It seems like Kamara may be on thin ice, and with defensive end Cameron Jordan's status also hanging in the balance, the Saints could be facing a significant overhaul. In the realm of veteran players, it's worth noting that a number of experienced names, including edge rushers Joey Bosa and Deebo Samuel, remain unsigned as the offseason progresses. With the trend leaning towards youth development, teams may be hesitant to commit to aging players. For those veterans, waiting until closer to training camp might be the best strategy, allowing them to gauge where they might fit best in a new system. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals are dealing with their quarterback situation and the absence of Jacoby Brissett from OTAs as he seeks a restructured contract. Brissett played admirably last season in place of Kyler Murray, showcasing strong numbers that certainly warrant a discussion for a pay raise. However, the Cardinals find themselves in a precarious position as they weigh their options for a rebuild while trying to maintain competitive integrity. Starting a more inexperienced quarterback could signal a lack of ambition, but it's a fine line to walk. Finally, let's touch on the Minnesota Vikings, who have been navigating a transition at the top following the firing of former GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. The interim GM Rob Brzezinski is now in charge of the team's future direction as they approach the upcoming draft. The list of candidates for the GM position is intriguing, with many names having deep ties to the organization. However, while Brzezinski represents a safe choice, the Vikings might benefit from a more innovative perspective to reinvigorate the franchise. As we look at these developments, it's a reminder of how quickly the landscape of the NFL can change. For the Green Bay Packers, staying ahead of the curve in this unpredictable environment is vital. We're all eager to see how these shifts will impact our beloved team as the offseason unfolds. Now, I want to hear from you, Packers fans. Where are you watching from today? What are your thoughts on these developments? Will the Packers need to make any moves of their own to keep pace? Don't forget to subscribe and comment your opinion about the Green Bay Packers. Your voice matters. Let's keep the conversation going.